In today's world, we see problems in our oceans, on land, and the entire world around us, and honestly, they just seem to be getting worse. Habitats are continuing to be destroyed for agriculture along with a stable climate. What if I told you there was a way to solve some of these problems? Sounds impossible, right? The solution? Vertical farms. What exactly is a vertical farm? Well, Dr. Dixon Despomier and over 100 graduate students had the idea of a vertical farm in 1999. It's pretty much self-explanatory in the fact that it's a farm, but built vertically. And they utilize the power of being constructed as a building into an entire ecosystem within itself. One way vertical farms accomplish this with their connected ecosystem with methods such as hydroponics and aeroponics, replacing soil with nutrient-rich water or mist, or occasionally using fish droppings for a source of nutrients. Recent studies show that 2.8 billion of the world's population lack water. 1.2 billion almost have no water at all. On this map, you can see that most of this is located by the equator, with the exception of Australia. Where is most of this water going? Well, for one, it's going into systems to keep you and your food nice and cool, but it's also going to irrigation for farms. The sad thing is, though, man-made irrigation systems can cause runoff of chemicals from fertilizers, insecticides, and can lead to poor root development. Agriculture uses 75% of fresh water, and most homes waste 95% of the water that they're given. Vertical farms don't need that kind of irrigation. Some utilize the power of gravity and have water flow down from the rain, and can be recycled. Overall, vertical farms use 95% less water than regular agriculture does. Back to hydroponics and aeroponics, both enrich the plants, which lead to no runoff and no bad roots. Another point that's usually relevant in these conversations about farming is land, because we have a lot of that. And the population has grown 30% since 1990. It's predicted by 2050 that human population will have reached almost 10 billion. That's 10 billion mouths to feed, each consuming 3 to 5 pounds of food per day. And only so much of this land can support us. Approximately 11% of the Earth's landmass is used for agriculture, and yet 805,000 people are still undernourished. And these numbers will only continue to increase as time goes on. While many vertical farms are built as skyscrapers, they don't necessarily have to be. For example, vertical farms are located in Newark, New Jersey, and it was built in a steel factory. Many vertical farms take advantage of dirty lots since they can take up less space because they build up and utilize the power of gravity. In the current world, most food prices have risen over 0.5%, and fresh fruits themselves have risen 2.4%. Right now, mostly leafy greens and a few fresh fruits and vegetables are grown, but it's hoped that soon they will be able to produce grains. So those fresh fruits that are imported may be bought locally. How do these buildings produce so much food? Is it too good to be true? Well, to be honest, no. Each vertical farm uses strong LED lights for sunlight. The soil is a nutrient-heavy aeroponic or hydroponic system instead of the usual dirt and mud. LED lights that are not sunlight, and they certainly aren't anywhere near as efficient. However, they do work, and they work very well. Sometime in the near future, we may be able to grow these plants that require a greater amount of sunlight in vertical farms. Because of the way vertical farms grow, their crops are able to produce the same amount of crops at double or half the time. With all this talk about vertical farms, you must be wondering, how far are we into this project? So far, Texas A&M has their own vertical farm program called Food 3.0. Francis Urbana Plant Building, and the world's largest vertical farm that's currently being built in New Jersey. And there are many vertical farms across the world that are used for places of business. Now, while vertical farms may not be able to solve all the problems in the world, they can provide some answers. And even though the changes may not be too good at first, they can make a huge impact in the future and solve most of these problems. And in the end, we can slowly grow into a brighter future.